YouTube Nhyira TV a get the tour Ayala transfer ni chere nkakra eno ade na si wo stadium na ti wo na nkofo no se de omse de na si
enye bibi gidigidi bia mun se enura na ye be kan se baby a ye be bo game na against Chad no a stadium a ye fair no Stade Olympique Marche Idriss Deby in no ewo in Jamina na one of those new facility at China akosidia ma Chad no na rich sa wo Chad crew na previously omunni stadium it say omunni bibisa and this was almost first game bo was our facility apart from Omo for no even the president of Chad was present no match no and the inferior of the team no and they say new stadium no was very very much there we no free wa say and right now we can say Chad for your starting qualifiers we no omunya point bia enti ama omo asake omu coach e de new coach aba okay is our coach no
yeah
so on the Ghana share that
yeah mekai
or you one of those coaches that will share Ghana or higher dream papa enti ono no buy no and one revamp Chad team no and we get a no more so Ghana na no mo question me minimum me kwa de me one of the coaches on pay me ni so kra
the friend of Raul Savoy.
Yeah. Enti Rich. A new stadium bounce. A new coach. I see our history with Ghana. And even the president of the nation was attending the game. No? I don't know ma say oh share o Nhyira TV. Picture na wo hu no Rich. 2 hours to the game. Stadium na ma eso still go for good gate e say yembie mo munkom security force stadium na ma omo se chinchina omo so ko hwe game ni bi
timo so omo tutia gas ho
nti se crowd no monko na mo se monko de ha then we have to use what you call minimal force na police for the try no Rich afede edu ba bi also mo tutia gas because oman hwe ya the new facility no supporters ni the crowd you could be bubu gate no akwakurementi eno hu fonyi ena ohun no enra 2 hours to the game the security airwall in Jamina had to use tear gas to control the crowd no anye sadia stadium ayema so nkofo se chinchiro mo so mura stadium no
so Kofi eno chese nkofo no ma fa game workable
of course
because at the current time man busa sana naturally team obo qualifies now show bia points a group unya 1 point input there na mbem motivate to say mame nkona game we there me fa na ni bi so me money gidigidi me say me team qualify there but there be motivate Chadians say look ye nya there yawe but there man kofu ehye and they see o park na chi no as say nkofo no money abre.
Oh yeah, and I mean, for me also, Oshe game ni we na Oshe Raul Savoy, and on the day Raul Savoy ni ebe game wa ase or jiri say officiating ankoye and or catcher say ye ko afkora will not be successful, will not get out of your group no.
Yeah.
Saturday no, na Baba Avenue media officer Kepler. Nani osi wenye emergency kakra. Ti mijina wana Kepler be tap him say Fee, I need you to sit in for me and then moderate the pressure, both for Ghana and then the away team. No? Because SM attended to an emergency. I'm so okay, senior. Why not? It's Saturday no can't ask him. Namitira we have one change. In fact, it's one of the pictures are Mr. Zemi here, Jumari may free me. I usually don't like frame pictures of myself, but me frame me the Asha baby. Because it reminds me of that day. And he said, in fact, in the picture, Oka saying you're mission and he said, what's this man saying? Saying to me qualify out of the group. And I think that before the game, I didn't do a good job in finding out who the coach was. I'd focused just on the team. Game they cost them who no touchline. I'm saying no. This is Rahul Savoy. No more me show game because I no credit Rahul Savoy. I'm saying I better no buy. And he gave me the updates. After the game on board drawn, his reactions on the field of play could tell. Say on one team say Ghana there.
On me,
Yeah, he wants to make sure say every time we be sharing.
high five for the players today, yeah.
But I mean, you better give Nankasa one come
Sure,
but
sure.
definitely they knew that there was something in the game for them.
Insurance of 4.5. Ayala, I know who patarding. Oh, to bench you.
I know, and some be in the course. Yeah. There are a lot of things. I was say, young fan come here for near before. And these things, it takes or more. They are not so quick to run or more opinion as in some for. But omo paper say utie omo platform nko they will give you every side of the story. And to say me Rich Sankanya radio na me ye na nka me ye obi a metie radio and I say metie sports programs are. One of the reasons why I will always choose Nhyira ASA, they will always want to give you the full package of the story. Say, yeah, your opinion then becomes an informed opinion. It is better that way than to just listen to people who come and say, come and listen to my opinion. And see, the narrative you take home as a listener and say, you only take home the pundit opinion. And as a show, no, Omom was on a presenter's no opinion. And you run with it. Give people the information. And allow them to do what they want to do with the information. And see, we will give people information. Ediana Nhyira. And I say, from Nhyira ABC Nhyira Blasters by Aravi, what really has gone on with your Blasters, and whether and some now about it, say Ujitum say it could affect performance. Rich, the Edikai. See about game no Nhyira. Nhyira chi Nhyira. And our started to go Thomas Partey so our camp. Na enya wonkwa he started having running stomach too. Nti awodino. Ose running. So he made the medical team of the Blasters aware of the situation. Now, before Nkomoko Akodano, the starting 11 of the Blasters, Partey was going to play alongside Elisha Owusu, Fiifi 6 and 8. Until the Mesa can say, your first 11 Babonti and Rano. Now, Abranti friend Salis Abdul Samed was not part of it the day before. Nenumrena, ye team no omuno omakasawe ya o kwa akoda unim sa de chia obebo game na obe start na say obe start from bench. Enti Partey was scheduled to start the game in midfield alongside Elisha Owusu and Mohamed Kudus. It was after all those meetings in Nhyira and Partey started to say onya symptoms of what probably will look like a fever and as a malaria with running stomach. Now, at the Chien, which was Nhyira the match day nanopano, they tried. So, and can you move it to me? At least we don't mind bear 45 minutes cry. Rich. But this is nobody near no. Only how these games are. A bad thing. I think so no. Who say Rich? There are some times you are not 100% fit. But Abia, the weather condition, any atmosphere, we can let you say, oh, I can give 20 minutes of this. But Rich, yeah, game no how one no. Chad LED 1 hour.
To hold 2.
To 2 o'clock a year.
I want to have desert. So you can imagine.
It's Nhyira.
It sounds like AstroTurf.
AstroTurf, no so as I concrete AstroTurf. And so then a carpet into a swear shit. The condition just couldn't allow Pate Ayala to play. Unim say in the second half. Adia Bakwe man, Coach Otto say, Oche when the substitution when he say he was still trying to convince Pate say game way at least the last 20 you need to play. Pate say coach, Sabon me ma and kame makampo. I will want to play, but no kwani I can't. And he said, why Pate didn't play no? He was part of the first 11. He was even negotiated within the game. So on appear, but Rich, na Pate home fano.
Okay.
No home fano.
So it wasn't like, yes, excuse for this game because of the ACL.
Never.
In him to pain and ACL and an AstroTurf.
No.
But we have a problem there, no.
Even with the health condition of Pate here, you know, the Blasters technical team today, unless I know Master, they are not even convinced he can play on Monday.
Wow.
So yeah. It's an one donna. It means Pate can play on Monday. And this also feeds into why Zibo is odd. Because who say Obia say ya titi ya friend Zibo, but ye who say Blaster team no be a prayer free man say baby. This is one of the reasons.
Because initially look at say Elijah Mumnebra.
There's a situation with him too.
Okay.
Enti Rich say who Eliza Usu any summit as 2 pivots away in Fiifi. That wasn't the plan. Because it was start. We wanted to play them attack you with a lot of offensive players. But because of Pateya Renintino,
okay.
Yentimi and you, Rich, then the second one. Unum says I shall Blasters squad anymore. There is this player, na Osina Emma Caglari. He moved to Atlanta. Now he is with Bologna. Suleiman. Onusi defensive midfielder. Into Obebusa say, I say, why did Eliza and Summit as a 2 people to know a ball game new year? Now you won't play Mr. Suleiman. Onukra can even knock on the doors to start. Now went to me, Rich, and we are doing warm up. And also a twisted Nini. Inti game no, yeah warm up na, and also start say or complaining. Even the day before, now or complaining say I say no to you know, or feeling no man kiti bi but na enye bibia or the man who excuse and no to me bobo no. But on the day match day which is Enra, yeah warm up no. And as Suleiman as so a cut to stay at the no. And now no pay me no say. Or could just scan me no kasa CCA scan me Sami Kwani we they will need to review the scan na Oma say whether obey available for Mali and I say because of the scan no enti onya available enti and also can be and Emma omumeki arrangements for Brantia friend Zibo the rich who say Enra Elisha the yellow card Elisha yellow card now odi no men say now Elisha did 3 yellow cards. And the team manager and the technical team say they are reviewing the CAF rules, you know. Say unya 3 yellow cards are very likely say then you will not be eligible to play in your next match. And Elijah Ewo camp there. But because of any yellow card now with you know, Anshe ye name Mali no. Eliza so intimi embo. So with these 3 situations, you know,
okay.
And when the Blasters technical team, no, realizes say no, then probably we will need a backup before even who you name on this situation, you know. Until Mama you invite your brand TFN Zibo. na ombesiaka
from Real Oviedo.
yes now Rich I think this should be the last one.
Okay.
Rich unu say nra yebo game ni wie about 90% of your players on board ni bi no obia enan ahyehyɛ nsuo the we are tough na den ene awia na ono mu gyina mu na onan hyɛ butu na de rane no Rich
Abane man de mo.
you see what nti so wa ubekaya after the game in Otto post match no asema o kan say enye excuse there but say ugiri say o exaggerate a obi aso be ko child hobi minim say make what you say akwa say we face a certain situation but o kan enye obi a na be appreciate asam na o kan yie and he then saying say okay until you also come and face it ebi a the American ube downplay no
so obi nso be ka say okay coach enye flimsy excuse be no person the Ghanaians.
that is the reason why
such hard for no so almost be kwa kubo game.
That is the reason why Otuado say obi ya be dey ebebebi now Rich say eno so she game no
sure I watch
you saw Chad number 7 no torment on your the coast speed he couldn't finish the game because Oprai Chad for no more number Obi Osha number 2 on both from Momo right back no he was making a lot of runs and incursion he couldn't finish the game Rich Nhyira and this is from the technical team after speaking to the players be said Jordan player be say Kudus. Unse eno asa wo hwe game na edrum re bi a na oma kwhye wings honum. Rich almost say oma kwhye wings so because they a tactical switch o. You only go there na wakwaje ahome kakra. Because awia na e bo no. Any the pitch no mu gina so no. Enye easy. Enti obo game na Rich na wakope corner bi wo ball nim. No wakojiwa home kakra e o game nim anye sa you just can't make it now go na Chad for the say no say o show ya time quality free no I think it was Ibrahim Osman and I know did it first and obia question and say the two pivot central midfielders you know in Salis and Elijah no more the only player who could our bang play the kakra was Abdul Samed. Rich, after the game, they asked, Samed, why? I was
because Abraham the ball neighbor.
Yes, I was saying,
space, Obian closing, not the ball neighbor, no shooty.
Rich, Samed said he admits, but he was so tired. He was so tired. Rich, you see, we will do the analysis. And I am disappointed as any Ghanaian. I am very, very disappointed. But you see, this is me giving a tear for me. Like information. It's not whom you mood this. But Rich, so what about that? Oh yeah. So we teach it out. Now I say I was so to me.
It's a damn
Rich,
those when you should be
here or say or jutum. Say he could have done what Obi expecting. So many pe, but now we na ya mere. And Rich, and from a now coping bear Sunday there. But no the first Juma a war for blasters CCA even before we prepare for Mali. Hey, how are Rich? Players now mona session soon in the say ice block buni edi ombetu tomorrow. I don't know what the physios will do as a remedy to sad end there. But Rich, these are normal. So when you in Nhyira FM, you will not get this information. So now we are all well informed about the conditions and in maybe probably ama Yeah, Kano. And Rich, let me say this, the last one, I think I almost forgot. Because na yenya party, na yenya Suleiman no. Born na yekono. Now we wanted to make changes in the midfield, but ye players na nebe ye do mbeba no. Na yenya omo. The technical team edwene ho say Rich unse okono Ogilanda. Abranti e no Calabrianchi. Otimi bo as a midfielder ba. Rasta Ghana no boy too. So they were contemplating say your place now, your person don't bend because we are twisting in here. Where is your arena there? Can we push because he was working very, very hard? And minim say be you too young in India. As on the na on feelings our brave. Into ye finding question Fiifi na. Rich, that was the time also. Not child the funny person so they were crossing the balls, into your box. And it also all good heights. Yeah. It's not all boy with sa area situation, They thought say Tariq Ba. Tariq may give us fresh legs. But sometimes we were leading 1-0 and we were managing the game too. So defensively, you don't take a decision. About me, how with your defense line, especially when they are all on our height or with the area situation because the opponent were resorting to a lot of crosses there. So let's allow him to play. Now minutes now can hear me say we can get over the line na intimi and so Rich. Okay. In terms of info from the camp of the Blasters there, say the beya utie osha, you can listen to this information, soak them in, and also do your analysis with it. Rich, these are some of the information I able to me and
football analysts and highlights. This training match and Salis is saying he's tired. Even Chad is not making any threat to the latter part. Okay. Kofi, Kobod no way. Na yentie Otuado. Minim say bia wo reaction kitu bia beso ansa no Kobod no.
Minya kwampo anka men Kobod.
Oh, no problem. Kobod so. No problem. Okay. Enti first of all, pese
iti Otuado.
Yen started from Otuado.
Okay.
Coach no dey bo game no. Na yentie adekonti o se o ma child for ni nya 1 point free ho because me say me just me dey me the ombeka bia me nto ma se da child there be and this child nya point we ho yentie coach Otuado coach mpacho eno ade na wo stadium ho kyerɛ dia ba enema group team and our my obia bunibi young quad yentimi amono awo kromo Otuado first of all eba ne saying and yentimi anche a child for yentie explanation of the mind.
No. I think surely you want to have ball possession. I think it's very difficult to play on this terrain when it's not watered. We can't play fast, so it's a disadvantage for us if the pitch is not wet. And the boys surely they play in Europe, they are wet pitch, they can play fast. But the pitch was very slow for us, so it's difficult to outplay the defenders. But also I have to say Chad did well in defending, and they didn't allow too much chances. And for me, the most important thing is the 3-4 good chances we had. We have to score the second goal, to make our opponent weak and also mentally weak and us strong. But we didn't use our chances. Like I said before, in football, sometimes like that, if you don't use the 3-4 good chances you have, sometimes you're unlucky and you'll get one.
Okay. Eti from mutie dwumadi ena no pain. Otuado nsam na okan ne tintin na mi twa ne tia ade amamo. Otuado say Ghana 3 points na yentimi amfam featured for no holy na no. Ode so bo no babo pitch no. Pitch na nya said odin kan before class na ebobo game no. O say pitch no enye. Ama kwanya no opeso ne mrante no fa so approach game. Ano mbabo game no. Ama kwan mo ntimi ammo ne saa. Na ose ni nyina mu no ogitum. Sa Black Stars enya chances now say kitimi kill game no. Because her child for na game no omo no as defend na no mabo kakra. Yanimu omo nche na position bi amfa mayen. It is over omo go no kura omo de share Ghana no. I don't say oh game now about 90 minutes no. We has a chances be no se miensa pe. The third one na Brante no. A boy deflect here koto e atanim. And to Otto say draw na your boy no a pitch na mo fancha pitch no. And you know to Addo any players. Oh yeah. Na ye wie no say or they shall pitch there. Nenso asimbika. Yintie no so way.
Very disappointing. Just 1 point for us. Yeah, not easy for us to play. Yeah, on this ground, in the heat. But we have to take it, and I think we came in well to score the first goal. Continue to dominate. We created a lot of chances, but we are not sharp enough to use them. And yeah, for us, unluckily, I think the first shot from Chad, which hit the target, entered the net. It was a deflection. But this is football sometimes, you know. We have a lot of chances. We could have killed the game before, or we must kill the game before, but we didn't do. And they have one big chance. I think there were some wide shots from Chad, but other than that, there was no big chance and one deflection in the goal. And yeah, really, really disappointing for us.
Okay, and Otto say, I on one additional pitch. Now so we disappointed. I on one money players no, because game na boy no. Child for no man position be hard to us. Omo try say in fact omo nya de born na child for ni nimbo. It will only say your boy game we na board don we disappointed pa. We're very very disappointed. Our no one ho ni team no omo gitum because omo nya chances are na committee me kill game na omo ntimi and kill a game no. The last voice ni dey here kwen me be because I near on yene mali game no kwan ya obefa so obobo game no ene adina kofi before abebem no me di we na ejo tatana start discussions no
a great disappointment pa disgrace ye no one say na me se kumase hwe ene Thursday obi apodwuma bere bo no hwe ni pra bere just what they one go pitch. What is pitch?
No. Kofi.
Rich.
Otto say a pitch and I'm fancy pitch.
Oh, me, I don't want us to just start with names. Okay. And now you're waiting, Jamena.
Yeah.
I think that we knew the veracity of game na Nyekwakobo. Bona Yekwakobo, na Yekwakobo, ewo in Jamena. We knew the condition of the pitch. Ni ni baby a free bars of mine. And you see, Rich, so you're slight researcher, you know that's because Chad of Fono are just close to the border. The best pitches for them are Astro TFC. Because in Suho credit them for them to keep natural grasses, adding. Yeah. So obviously they were going to use such things. So if I knew this, Otto should know. And in your preparation for the game against Chad, you should have probably prepared on one or two AstroTurfs in harsh conditions or in similar conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Before we travel to
Japan.
Yeah.
Me and him say game in here, Kobono
AstroTurf. Exactly.
So it's a whole Kobo game no AstroTurf there. Yeah. I didn't think a young train no AstroTurf. On
the day I played in Babidru Ghana, 16 and Babidru first. We shouldn't have gone to Accra Sports Stadium. Thank you, AstroTurf. And AstroTurf ni Kroma. Thank you, AstroTurf ni training. On the second day, you have full training. Or the second day will be about full training. So after training on AstroTurf. It is also called the natural grass beam. Because again, unless you don't know your geography, Chad in area, it's just in there, in the Sahara. It's also even the overhead video of pictures now, a buyer now. Also around the stadium, and it's a hot place. I don't know. A very, very humid pan from a pie day for his obit me. And where is she? So what I'm saying is that we should have prepared. Which in your 2 games here, in the this window, the Chad game is supposed to be the easiest. So, say obiti channel catcher say they don't want to listen to any excuse. It is because that is supposed to be the easiest game. I can understand. Obi Awasha Chad, Ibiana have played Chad away from Chad. in Jamaica. But it is not enough. Me, I don't see any problem. Say Yambo party. Say no Yario. Say 99 any Yao. We should have won the game without the master party. Me, Otto. I don't start a party. Me bo party for them. A hot AstroTurf. So when you come back, I mean start now. Obey when you have Salis and you have Elisha Usu. And again,
bet me a control game.
Yes, which Oko no Jelanda. Calibrati plays as a midfielder. Or boy, a midfielder. He's winning some games. So midfielder.
At the time, I won't say, Patenya available. Bono.
So these are guys can play there again. Makani several times. So Ushe is starting centre backs here. The starts here now, which we started. You see, me when I'm saying this, the people especially with Otuado, know my body of work on Otuado. Odopa Bomidin she go na bo Otuado count. You see my body of work on him. One of the few people who have tried to be very objective about Otuado and hear conversations about him. Did you see a centre back play? We played Jerome Opoku. Any Jonah Ajete. Very good on the day. But you know what was lacking in those two? Leadership. Bonnie and Lucy Nhyira. It came down to leadership on the field of play and Otuado application and ebini ho. Football, you only mienu. Nia coach ebe chrewo on the tactical board any parks. Any nia who coach no who could do park no swa. Or team no could do park no swa mo beye. It is the reason in tia coaches be on ma. Unse Simeone Inzaghi. Baby aboni be Kobe Simeone Inzaghi di echiri. Bibi aboni be Kobiaro Diego Simeone di echiri. Antonio Conte. These guys, Obia Oye Din Timono, na our assistant and any ding. Our base edge mano. And yes, sir, our leaders were partners. I'll give you a clear example. Sir Alex Ferguson. In the days when Manchester United were winning, Alex Ferguson was not shouting, but no, our leaders were partners. And you make sure that every time I will line up, you add a leader who will lead in that conversation. Or captain any vocal person. Jordan, are you on your vocal and then your problem and you're the bunny? Mohamed Kudus ain't the most vocal person in the team. Your most vocal people in the team have always been at your defense. Jikuni Salisu. Jiku is out with no fault of his. And in that setup, when you're playing Jerome Opoku and you're playing Jonah Adete, who again on the game were good, but you needed leadership in the second half. That is all we needed. Because now you're drab, Sunday kind of bofumu, and you're like a desical. And you're nonchalant. Nothing to give. In fact, Mimeshe game no, from the 68th minute, it looked to me that we were disrespecting the Chadians.
And it's true.
We thought, okay, you see, there was a point in time in the game on your bench in the side honor. Na Kudus any Inaki or one of the attackers. We pre bono pre, we are premanonko pre, we are premanonko pre, we are premanonko pre. What are you doing? What are you doing? You see,
no, Kofi, me
in games we say crown. When you play and you prepare well, we didn't prepare well, and it comes down to Otto. We didn't prepare well. Because which yes, you did the mommy fancy.
Yes, started campaign Monday. Game was on Thursday. Right?
Yes.
Monday no crown. I think we started with 5 or 6 players.
It doesn't matter. We should have still gone to an AstroTurf.
Fine. If okay, so I didn't tell you how them know.
An AstroTurf, we didn't have to come before we go look for AstroTurf. You went to prepare to.
So
when did we travel?
So now the question is. Management committee.
It's not a management committee.
The
coach should propose for it.
Management committee. We knew say Yakobo AstroTurf. So when some make promises,
Any management committee adjuma. Una a technical person. Una a technical person.
Yes.
And I also in my preparation of the team, I need A, B, C, D. When you tell them and they don't do it for you, that's why you blame the management committee.
And I'm saying, sir, maybe. That is why I'm saying that. Yet, maybe their information will
so I don't want to deal. So Rich, me submission, Mr. Mamingasa.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with maybes.
Okay.
Because maybe can just be another person saying something else. Me, I don't want to deal with maybes. I'm dealing with actuals. What happened? We trained on a natural grass. And it's can train on natural grass. We should have trained on AstroTurf. And for me, you, the coach, demand stuff like this. In fact, Rich, in game preparation, the plan is drawn by the coach. No management person come close to that. They only execute the plan you give them. And you travel koko PMO in Jamina. we had the chance to fill the stadium. But we filled the stadium at a time that wasn't similar to the time we would have played a game. So that preparation, we were not in the right way to get optimal levels to be able to deliver. And Usha body Coco Boyna. Ghana Nibi Osha gave Libya for the second half to a game. And you too drab. Like a daisy corner via Bofana say, Obia. You see, Rich, do you know something again? You see, Otto has let himself down. He's letting me down. The last time I share about my mail, when I'm done, I'll send him a mail to that effect. Rich, Unim Bibi. In games like this, because Unim Sebebi Aboboni a human, you know. Because Unim Sebebi Abobono Parker's wedding, you know. You make use of your substitutions. Your first substitution, we were just making 2 changes. When obviously, you're only number 6 now, Abre. Say, only that time ago, Salisu had gone onto the pitch. Yeah. We had changed for Salisu to come in that game. Around that time, that is not the point you take off Jerome Opoku and bring on Salisu like no. At that point, you add up to the quality of the defense and let him step up. Because I also want him to calibrate or Medford. Nasa a problem with Medford or Mabra. Bring in Salisu to come and play at centre back or midfield. Because he's a defender. Defenders are similar to midfielders, especially for DMs. And then keep the 2 that you have there. Because Ushe go near consider and reach, it is clear. Ibrahim Osman side and ball if you buy. Yeah. He could not press well. On Ibrahim Osman so catch him say at that point in time on Abre. After playing 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But you see,
I'm disappointed in the players. I'm telling you.
You look at Sani Mawi and Otuado, if he doesn't take care, there's a thin line between Obegi Apu players. Na Nieman Kuyinado and Sabeto Mukumaka say, Metimasi, Niememoyete will be fine. And also, you say all players no Abashabody. On that touchline, Otto, instead of talking to coaches, players, or referees, sometimes I go shouting on some new boys now. Because when you are coming on at that point in time as a winger, after that, you consider going in the 88 minutes. At that point, it is game management.
And 100% concentration.
Yes, it's and a game management. So if Salis Abra, no problem, nipa bre. You frame. Which on your team near the coin. If you look at the midfielders that we played in the game, we played Elisha Wusu, Elisha Friji by in chair. And you see, these are some of the things I keep on talking about. Elisha Friji by in chair, Salis Abdo Sam Friji by in chair, which there was no way they were going to give us 100%. And today, you see, Unima de Bakwa an indictment on Utuado. Yamba Bedru Gana, oh, Fresibo. Butora shot himself in the foot. Oh, Fresibo on bed. Because Patefe. When you have 2 players who are just returned from injury and you are playing on national turf, and you know that the conditions are going to be harsh, after scoring 1 goal, you shut up shop. You shut up shop. 5-4-1, 4-5-1. What was Kuku doing on the pitch? Ibrahim was one of my betting. At the 70th minute, he was coming to score the 2nd goal. What are we telling ourselves? You shut up shop. Your point game is 1-0. No. You shut up shop. A professional, which your bobo you 1-0. And then I beka. Professional, you call for 3 points. That's all. How do you let the game go on? Now the Ibrahim Osman Aba. Now the Kamadi Suleiman Aba. They are coming to drive and dribble. When you are down, you know that the conditions are harsh. Because me TV at Chikwaro, me uso to our time we for if you free. Into the conditions were harsh. Everybody could see. But in conditions being harsh, that is where you manage games. Did you see? Otuado, me I don't have any question about his ability as a coach. When I see people say so need tactics, so need I don't agree with them. But I can't new man kitty.
A coach, I want to manage a game. Are you a coach?
No, and I make I say, no, that doesn't mean you're a coach. We wait to see baby. Okay. But in the job in management, you always have to make sure say you find a way to solve problems.
Because and when I go to problem, on to manage game.
When under Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Tuchel after leaving Chelsea wrote an article. In one of the articles he wrote, also assistant Zach Laurie, he was the most brilliant person for him. Every day when they go into the halftime room now, Zach Laurie has noticed things that he took care will not see. Because when you're main man, you have issues. You need to put measures in place in the regard. And you look at the game, 88 minutes. She plays a bench ball. Brahim Osman, Salis Abdul Samad. You DM Abre at the 88 minutes. And we can't take him off. We can't make a makeshift change. Who defenders were parking so. Jonah Jete Muninano. They can swat in centrally. Add another defender to it. We had players that I was never in for the idea of bringing in Tariq Lamptey because Tariq is not fit for the African game, especially away from home. On your physical, me mono away from home that. Me bo baba ya rabina me pese me kita bo ne come number attack me I can play him and give him cover. But when he's away at N'Djamena in a very harsh condition like that, I won't do that. I will not do that. Clearly, you take off Antoine Semenyo now or the attack aba. No you na the attack aba. When you are chasing the game, I'm disappointed in Otto. I am personally disappointed in him. And only players thing a drop show. And nothing will wash for it. Because every explanation they have given us from our camp, based on the reasoning, almost say, the maximum points. No. All of these explanations, there are ways that you could have prepared for them and circumvented them. You mentioned all of those explanations. And then, Pate Webra. If Pate gets injured, you knew all of the 3 midfielders you played who can play as a 6 or 8 now. They all have injuries in recent times. So you make do. Bring in somebody, especially when you're playing in a harsh condition. Bring in somebody that can be a cover. Or be a utility can cover for all 3. Then, who will start the game? Jiku, who is one of the senior most defenders, is unavailable. Granted, you like the pair of Jonah Jete and of course, Abranti Efero, what's his name, Jerome. It was good. Almost how much you now about 60 78 minutes and you are chasing the game, throwing experience, come and calm down because you attackers no. Nobody is vocal. You see, baby, and I say, Kejumani, I'm an idea.
Ever be the group in Uncommona? Yes, the group dynamics in na Yama Tifono and so Etimi Abem. Roland Fabricas say every day try to prove to Ghanaians why some journalists told him in the face that he's not a coach. I said, Braco say even if we played 1-4-5 formation cry, we shouldn't have drawn this game. Chad. Okay. And also at the Abraham. All right. I say yes, we will qualify, but we don't need this symbolic performance to qualify. Very disappointed. I went to a friend on Himba Kobi, or him in Jan, and now this message at the Abraham. This one could be empire. I remember when now.
Before not tactical board, no, no. But so many Fiifi in come away about few things be a work and my observation from your squad list na your friend.
24 no.
So come me for I've already explained the issue with Thomas Partey and Ibrahim Sulemana. So you take them out of the picture because now we are informed omo situation omo bako yare bako pra ontime omo ntime mbo. Rich, you look through the midfielders. Obi abebo bo ni bi. Omo maka ni nyina obi abobi. So it's not as if you have a change to make and you are not making it. Obiaboy.
Ayala, but you know that Ibrahim Osman, any particular midfielder.
But I'm saying, say, we game no. You shake game say you need to beef up. Say na can shut up shop. You look in your squad. Players are commit masati up shop no. Bakwe pra. Bakwe yare. Omo makanina so you brought them in. So why are you going to bring another player? Number 2, remember. Coming for the so or defenders na Fiifi kano. Say Oshe defenders ni nyina center halves no. Jiku, we have already explained said that Jiku ni ho. Rick say oye Jiku free wa. Omo maka ni nyina no. They played. Salisu boy, Jerome boy, Ajete boy.
No, baby says Salus no ba sutame ba.
No, but so will say they should make change. Tell my Jerome Poku pra no. Then Salisu came in. You see, I am going to do my analysis. But Rich, to me, I'm not born out here. No. was there a problem with your centre backs now?
No.
There wasn't. Until
You
then.
are going to come and position.
What is your bone for?
No,
We are so comfortable.
They keep a crowd on
Me for one. I've not said there was a problem with the centre back. I think
Yeah,
that I
I
was
think
spot on saying
yeah.
centre backs
Yeah.
are solid. But see, Rich, Ayala, in management of this squad, Otuado could have done better. He could have done better in the sense that because also defenders not on the camp now. There were more defenders who are better in terms of even pressing. You see, there are times where coaches about 2 fullbacks or 1 wing so without a winger. Why? Because I got 10 minutes. You manage that with intensity to be a defender. You don't bring in Ibrahim Osman. What's Ibrahim Osman coming to do? Kamadin Suleiman or Baba Yedin at that point in time.
Rather than a 5 minutes or so. Young closing game, they see 3 points.
From the 70th minute, it was clear. Say go be and baby. You shut up shop. Share again. Ayala, we all knew. Say Jiku had a problem and will not be able to travel. Senior centre back, we should have augmented this. Esanke pe solution. Ahana esanka sebo conversation started back because unise party a practitioner. Granted, you are in the but a pressure, what if you got there and after training, he says that you know what, I can't play on this surface.
But even your friend can't continue more. Time Ben or travel or
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when the list came, when we realized that Jiku is not unavailable, it was on the day or even before the day players maybe drew Ghana. It is Spain. It is Europe and Africa. Finding a flight and you have to go and book and come back later. Oh, here visa.
You see,
he's coming to
when we knew
we should have augmented the squad because it is true. The squad is thin. Ubo Jonah Jeti, Tyree George, I won't play him. Tyree Lamptey, I won't play him. Calibre was already in the team. And Makani several times said before you look at Obi said Derek Atakon, some players in Yano, it's their debut and stuff like that. So you don't want to probably throw him in such a place. But it is a point where in this game you have Seba slots in, and then you make sure you augment for some of these issues.
Kofi, this is my point. Let's say, sir, Charlie Timu boy. Yes, players they good no. I mean, I'm quality they way ahead of this players.
You see, just and this uncle way. You see, and no how people see a Nyoma and do the analysis about it. Senior Fiifi can say, even if Partey was sick, we don't need Partey to beat Chad. It is the same if we had a situation with Jiku. We didn't need Jiku to beat Chad. And said the idea to no. And no born no. The center halves, there was no problem with them. They played very well.
Keep a crunch ball.
Time and a game no air cost, we needed Jiku. Time and a game no cost, we needed Jiku. Semeka said we don't need Partey to play Chad or to win against Chad. I'm saying that and it's a Partey with the whole game and that's why so in this game and Partey what you can bring Partey to come and hold on to the ball. You could have brought it.
It is a Sunday there. As the game went on, we needed Partey too.
No problem, but he's injured.
So those who are not there are not there.
No, Ayala. You prepare for it. You prepare for it in everything. Now regular life campaign, but we are going away. You prepare for every situation. We didn't prepare well. You prepare for Partey, who or injured. You prepare for because you knew that Jiku was not going to come. What is your plan B? Because it was a team like center back.
Partey, we have not mentioned injury. Partey is not injured. He is playing for Villarreal. Partey is not injured. And we have not mentioned injury. We have already established, say, Partey was part of the first 11. So go injured and come part of the first 11. He was sick. Yes, yeah, doing it.
Partey Yale Tambe.
I told you, sir, Partey was part of the first 11. The evening before, Partey is sick.
So, are you plan B saying?
Ibrahim Suleiman. Now, go back to me. I bought a Fiifi to reinforce any man. On also doing warm up at within in here. Also, Osman Muntimimbo, look, because of the results, it makes sense if you question why we should bring Kamaradin any other. But Rich, if you are on the tactical bench, Nasi Abobo Niasha one, we need to kill the game. And Kofona will say, oh, baby, a game they do no. They have thrown caution to air. They want to attack us. And Tibano Mubo anymore. You think say bringing a winger be said Ibrahim Kamaladin Suleiman. Say the way I'm confounding bomb many media. Say in your space or machia. You are bringing a direct winger. Numpo can slow them down. Say, need me just Suleiman Honko because pace power. Look, say results and go ya. Decision we are making tactically is deemed as wrong.
And that's the case.
And that is
and as a sunny case,
that is what is happening now.
No, Ayala, your first change.
One after the so person analyze you be now here. You first have to understand why he took that decision. So if you don't mention that, as I said, the worker said because of the results, analysis when I be here, Otto, I a good coach. Analysis ben. You say Usman Mu were wrong choice. And can you defend them Bombebo midfield? But we have forgotten say at the point that you're doing the game, Rich, we could have also managed the game by getting people who are good on the ball. Yes, hold the ball. Hold it. You try and you foul. Yes, slow game down.
A lot of people. Almost be decided to the ball double pivot. Me, I don't have a problem with playing double pivot. In fact, it's the best thing to do on the African market. And we didn't have a problem progressing the ball. And that's why I didn't go to the tactical board because your two centre backs were progressing the ball. I could have analyzed the goal near share for you. The very first time you passed the ball on the that went wide. So we have Kudus in the game. Exactly. So what I'm saying is that you don't just carry to progress the ball. You can also pass to progress the ball. What I'm saying is that why do you make your first change the 77th minute and bring in an attacker? The game was gone. 13 minutes to go. Start time, you know.
Oh, Kofi, you see, baby, mene Ayala ya drink kakra. Yes, and mene ayibashu for the CI. Na ye din command or kase. Mo incentro for the sometimes mo titimo couch mu na mo keka na then ode me ba me. Hold on.
Disrespect.
Oh me ba me bamba.
Number she go for kasa sem chewa. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to be trumpet. Disrespectful statement.
Listen.
Or energy, somebody also does their job.
You don't get my point. Ebia o ma me
point. In the couch.
Obate na sem na o kana say.
We can disagree, but when you talk
no, obazo say in coaching sabi eye chacha to. For instance, I know I'm in a game say at a point I ball bare 70 minutes. Na me who the reason I see keep Kudus ne Addo in the game. Now, South Transfer coach so better catch say me mom ka game because I need Kudus so better judge the ball so that I'm funny to me more money. But at the end of the day, you say so Ebasa so that decision now take here no. Yansa
but nobody had
minimum so what me point here.
Obian can say.
So what Basiru here for the episode change?
Rich, yeah, four substitutions.
Easy.
Rich, we made 4 substitutions in there. I understand, and all respect to coaches. Me, in community coaching here, Jumada, I would have been a rookie. I've worked with a coach before. I've sat down to prepare games before, and I've worked with coaches before in this regard. So respect, and me in my line of job, disrespect the idea about BNT. Where I come from, me a Barracks boy, I grew up in a Barracks. You dare not disrespect anybody. But Rich, yeah, 4 substitutions in the game. 4 substitutions. All of the substitutions we make were all attackers. All attackers. And I'm saying that, you see, because of the situation, we were forced to bring in attackers. Knowing the things that we knew. You know, recently. You know, Astro issues with. Ayala, your friend is Dr. Lee Timoniadiade. When you speak to these sports and exercise people, they say these things to you. They know it. So you don't put them in such harsh conditions.
And Zinanameka say, you see, Ebia, so Otto so bet me a catch say, look, I bought a sound phone in. Send me a and call because I can't bear 5 minutes. Omobepe Canadian ati. So who's a the strikers near there bar. I better restrict your movement. You see. And it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense.
You see, as I'm a Fiifi Kano, it's not as if I'm not listening to him. But what I'm saying is, say Fiifi see 4 changes. All of them were attackers and our problem on one. And I'm mentioning agencies to say, yeah, listen, my friend. We are now informed about 2 situations with 2 midfielders in Suleiman and Thomas Partey. So they couldn't play. They don't come into the discussion. They can't play. So when you say players if you are, you may put a snack out squad and Obiabo game be enra. Number 1. Number 2. Say oh problem why you change thing now we attackers. Okay. And get for more defenders and Brana. Fine. Let's go to the defense in our call up. You Fiifi admit say boy and ka Oma Tariq Lamptey Bobby. Oma Atakun Mbo because of the way they are and the nature of the game. Now you take those players like Oma Mumbona. Oma Makani now available also played. They played. And that game they played. Salisu boy, Adito boy, Jaro Poku boy, Caleb Yechi boy. So say Oma Mumbona Ambo. Look for this available Obia boy. What again could Otto do if not all the changes will be attackers? Because those are the players that were available. That is the simple point I'm making. And because you have a draw, the Otto here, it will not make sense because Charlie here, I want to see a show more. Now, Rich, let's calm the studio. You see, what happened here, Bono? Rich,